Welcome to a new episode from the Insatiable Writer podcast. Today's episode is Spotlights. And Spotlights is all about thinking and talking about different topics that we usually draw from famous works of literature and sometimes from works of art as well. And Spotlights is never about finding answers to the questions. The sole reason of Spotlights is to come up with questions and to think about things maybe from different perspectives. So I hope you like what I've prepared for you for today. Today we have an excerpt taken from Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot. So without further ado, let's get started.
From Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett. The tears of the world are a constant quantity. For each one who begins to weep, somewhere else another stops. The same is true of the laugh. Let us not then speak ill of our generation. It is not any unhappier than its predecessors. Is it true that the world is at balance and that the same amount of laughing and crying has been going on for centuries? And that constant relocation of these has been the only changeable variable in this equation? Is it true that we are whining about our times like every single generation whined about theirs in their own time, calling the one that had been before the good old days? Well, that makes every time the good old days. For time has always been like a butterfly's journey towards the light, with everybody standing and weeping on the hill of yesterday's good old days. The path of today is almost empty, and the future is creating itself on its own. With so few people in the future lane, anybody can claim it as theirs, and beware, control the future. Life is a roller coaster ride. One day you see your head towering over the skies, and the next you smite the very own ruins of your house you have saved every penny of your soul and built just to watch it get destroyed by the so-called fate. Who's in charge of this roller coaster? Who built it in the first place? Who tumbled you down the rabbit's hole to see all the wonders just to wake you up back in the same empty room you have snuffed loneliness from every single corner of which? Who turned this life into a big Disneyland where you can play and consume until you can play and consume no more? But you will have already brought youngsters to this life that will continue to play and consume. The tears on my face are my own tears, which I poured into these poor eyes of mine with all the monstrosity of accepting the so-called fate and leaving my life in the hands of the roller coaster builders. The smile in my eyes heralding the beginning of spring is always faced by a storm, which, if I survive, will see the first blossoms of spring. I can only fix this half-choked sigh of relief or of sorrow, for only I decide the course of tomorrow. If I live today, and I shall do it my own way. The smiles or tears are the same. But the people who seek the smiles and those who soak in tears are the ones who change over time. Let us be on the merry side and think of only today and leave tomorrow take care of tomorrow. For the more we face this insane world with our teeth bleaching in the face of its gale, we can find each other and perhaps build another roller coaster that has more ups and fewer downs, and eventually share this world with everybody with a smile on our face and a pen ready in our hands to face the ones who try to bring the river of tears back. For with our ink and blood, we will have built the dam.
So that was our spotlight for today. It is an exceptional excerpt and a very deep one from Samuel Beckett's great play, Waiting for Godot. If you would like to read the whole thing, it's never a time wasted with Samuel's work. So that's all for now. This is Danny, your host. Thank you very much for listening to another episode from the Insatiable Writer podcast, and I will see you next time.